Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacek Skorzyński. I'm a solution architect at Red Hat, based in Poland, Warsaw, and responsible for cloud and infrastructure part of Red Hat's portfolio. And today I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Red Hat's virtualization platform. So let's go further into agenda and let's see what we're gonna cover today in this really short slot. It's like 25 minutes, so please don't expect from me a deep dive of the features. I just want to highlight to you what is the ref, what is inside, what is based on, and so on. Yes, so we just want to start with an overview. I will show you a brief history of ref inside Red Hat, basically KVM inside Red Hat. Go briefly around ref architecture and highlight some core features. Yes, so let's start. Who of you knows already about ref? Use it in production maybe? Test and development, great. Yeah, great. Good to have some experienced users in the room. So let's start with history. So history from Red Hat's point of view start with acquisition of Qumranet company, which was responsible for developing KVM. Then we have different stages of project, and finally this year we have our new baby. It's a 10th product release, version 4 of Red Hat Virtualization, and also what is new, the name. So we get rid of enterprise. Don't ask me why, I don't know. And we have this beautiful acronym which I cannot pronounce. It's RHV. So I will stick with REF as an acronym, but please keep in mind that the proper name of the product is Red Hat Virtualization without enterprise. Okay. What I want to mention also is our market position right now. So previously, Gartner positioned us in the visionary quadrant, so we are chasing those two guys really fast. And if you are familiar with the every single release of ref or just searching for it, you can believe me or not, but there are massive features coming in every single release. Yes, if you want, you can just check in the release notes and you will see how many things are changing during the time and how it is working. Yes, so we are extending our capabilities, our ref features very fast. Let's see. Let's take a look at Red Hat Virtualization at a glance. Yes. So first thing I want to highlight is this: that Red Hat Virtualization is based on KVM Hypervisor, and it has centralized management. Basically, you can compare it to the VMware vCenter server. Yeah? This is basically the same. Second thing is we rely on RHEL underneath, and thanks to that we have all the SE Linux things in place, and also based on the SE Linux SVIRT security features built into RHEL. So if you are familiar with SE Linux with RHEL, you probably know that this is the most secure approach to in the industry right now. I think so. Second thing, the next thing is unmatched performance. So you can find on the internet independent companies like SpecVirt, which test different platforms, not only for virtualization, but also, but this is one of the topic, and KVM basically. Yeah, I'm not gonna to point that RHV is the best, but in this case, KVM, which is the heart of RHV, has the best scores in this area. Yes, when you compare to VMware, to Microsoft Hyper-V, KVM wins, I think, most of the time. And also reducing cost, because with Red Hat Virtualization, you have only cost of subscription. There is no cost of license at the beginning. Yes, so you purchase only as basically support, but subscription is something more than support only. So how is RHV developed? So as you can see here, this is our universe. This is I don't know if those numbers are still true, because there is no entity which follow those data. I think there is, let's say that there is over 1 million of projects, and what Red Hat do is to grab some promising things from the community and make it stable, standardize it, certify it, and make it production ready, as it is with, for example, in our case, Red Hat Virtualization, which is based on overt project. Also, you have Fedora for RHEL, and for example, for OpenStack platform, RDO, yeah, Ceph as one of Red Hat storage flavors. So this is the common way for Red Hat to develop products and to put them into the production-ready state. Okay, let's have a look at Red Hat Virtualization Architecture. So this is a traditional comparison, I would say, between RHEL plus KVM and the whole stack of Red Hat Virtualization. So the question is, what it gives us? What is the advantage of between this and this? So this one is a basic approach. Yes, imagine you have one host. You can put them some VMs on it, and you can just manage one host. You can of course have more than one host for sure, but when it comes to the scale, this will be some kind of tricky to manage the whole thing, the whole environment with and rely only on one host, one and the other. So this is where Red Hat Virtualizations comes in with centralized management console, with enterprise-ready features, with bunch of things which gives you an access to storage, to networking, to hypervisors, and you can manage all of this through the one user web-based user GUI or CLI or API if you want. Okay, so how it looks like basically. So Red Hat Virtualization contains two things. First, which is underneath and which is the heart of everything, is Red Hat Virtualization Hypervisor, and also Virtualization Manager. Yes, and as I said, this can be compared to the VMware vCenter server, if you are more familiar with. So with what gives us Manager? Manager gives us interface for users. So we have, in terms of GUI web-based interface, we have admin portal and user portal. I will tell you a little bit more about this during my presentation later on. And we also can add some directory services like Active Directory, IPA, and manage storage with Manager, manage networking devices, and so on. Okay, so let's have a look at Red Hat Virtualization, Red Hat Hypervisor. So in this model, we can have, I mean, let's say 2 flavors of Red Hat Virtualization Hypervisor. We can have just tailored minimal RHEL instance, which is just tailored for managing or hosting VMs on it, and this could be compared to ASXi VMware approach. Yes, so we have image, we install image on the host, and this is our hypervisor. Basically, we cannot interact with shell there. We cannot install some additional packages and so on. It's just an image. If you want to upgrade it, we upgrade the whole image. And the second approach is to have a regular, let's say, minimal instance of RHEL, and then put a KVM option on it. Yes, start KVM option on it. And what this gives us, of course, a little bit more overhead from the hypervisor perspective OS, but it also gives us a possibility to install some additional, for example, agents. If we have some third-party monitoring tool in our environment, we can easily install it on a single on the RHEL machine, yes, and have a view of our hypervisor in let's say third-party monitoring tool. And what we have also, we have a cross-platform certification for different guests like Microsoft and of course Linux guests. We rely on we support the latest silicon virtualization technologies, and the thing which I want to highlight here is that RHEL is co-engineered with guys from OpenStack also, and the whole virtualization engine is based on RHEL. So if you know RHEL, you more likely already know virtualization. Okay, yeah, and here we have a quick view of the Red Hat Virtualization Manager. So what we introduced in the newest version of Rev 4.0 is the dashboard. Yes, this is the something new which you can see in the version 4.0. And this is the first step to redesign the whole graphical user interface. Yes, so this is the only first step. The next will come in next releases. What we have also, that there is no strict rule that you can only manage up to, for example, 500 hosts. Yes, this is the plus here is because we don't have a strict rule here. So we can manage even more with Red Hat Virtualization Manager. This is just a good practice, let's say that. You have also full stack of APIs, starting from a RESTful API. You can use a graphical user interface to interact with Manager, and also CLI. And what we can see here is Red Hat Virtualization Administration Portal. Yes, so usually admin guys will come here and manage their VMs, networking, storage, and so on. And what I want to show you during the next slide, this one and the next one, is something which is pretty unique with Rev. which is by default in ref, and you cannot see it, for example, in VMware by default. Yes. So this is the self-service portal capability, and what it gives us, actually, it gives us an ability to build some kind of portal, service portal, for users to log in and to give them special quotas for the projects, give them access to ISO images, to give them access to templates already created in our environment, and give them ability to deploy new VMs based on the quotas they have in the environment. Yes, and what we can see here, this is a self-service portal for admin users. So no, sorry, power user. This is the exact name of the role. So we have a basic tab and extended tab, and in the extended tab we can deploy, for example, a new VM. Yes, based on the quotas we have. See how many resources we already consume, and see our templates we have. We can also have a self-service portal for regular user, and then I will show you later on the next slide. There is another feature which we can employ here. So I think I mentioned most of them, like self provision of VMs, like tied to Active Directory and LDAP, and so on. And yeah, can act more or less like internal cloud capability. Yes. So with this we can gain a technical workstation capability. So imagine we can access our machines. Our users can access machines which they have right access to, and start them, shut them down, and interact with them. Let's say with, for example, Spice Console. Yeah. So this gives us an experience comparable to local PC. We name it as a technical workstation thing in Ref, and this is by default in Ref. You don't have to buy another subscription, so license or so on. Yes, when you have just basic subscription for Ref, you have this capability. The thing I want to mention here is also pooling and templating. So let's imagine you have, like we do right next door, our hands-on labs on Ref, and guys from Fuse also use it. What we did, we created a pool of VM from one template for 20 users, and when we want to start them, user can log into self-service portal, start them by themselves. Yes, and every single user has its own VM, his own VM. Yes, to interact. And the good thing about it is that this relies on one image. So in terms of storage cost, it's super efficient. When we create a pool, we can check it as a stateless or stateful. So, for example, with stateless VMs, which we use in our environment, every time we restart VM, it starts from the beginning, from the template, which we made initially. There is also a smart card support for authentication and many more things. Just explore it. It's a really powerful solution. I just need to see how many time I have still. It's like 10 minutes more. Yep. Okay. So let's discuss Red Hat Virtualization key use cases. So as I mentioned, because I will also show you the brief list of features we have already in RHV. This is a platform mainly for mission critical virtualization. Is ready for it. It's stable, proven for over the years we developed the product. This is also a good start to cloud, because I don't know if you are familiar that most of the, I think it's around 60% of public cloud deployments relies on Linux and relies on KVM underneath. Yeah. So because we rely on the same engine, we co-engineered the RHV with OpenStack guys also, and RHV can be employed as a service provider for OpenStack installation. Yes, so if you have already or you plan an OpenStack in your organization, RHV can be a virtualization engine for OpenStack, one-off. Yes, could be also VMware, could be pure KVM, but RHV can do also the same, and this is based on the same heart, on the KVM underneath. This is also very good platforms for dev and testing and development. As I mentioned previously, technical workstations. This is something which differentiate us from the competition. So let's have a look at the core features. I don't want to show you the whole list of the features, because it will take us like probably more than one slide for sure. But I just grabbed some pieces which could be helpful in everyday usage. Yes. So I put it in the slightly, I think, readable table. So what we have already in RHV, and it's working, and if you want to see it, just come to our hands-on labs. We will show you some of them at least. We have live migration between hosts. It's working. We have HA for virtual machines, storage live migration, hot add of memory and CPU, and many more things like support for iSCSI, NFS, fiber channel storage, and cluster storage also. Yeah. What I already mentioned is firewall and SE Linux, and there are many more features which I didn't cover here, but I want to highlight one thing, which is in RHV, I think from the previous version, from 3.6. It's a VMware to Red Hat Virtualization migration. So in Manager you have a guided tool, let's say that, which you can give you a possibility to migrate some workload from VMware to RHV in, let me remind myself, in 5 clicks. Yeah. So basically what you can do is to add vCenter server as an external provider into RHV. Then you will see the whole list of VMs it run on the VMware, and then you can pick all of them if you want, or just few of them, and migrate it to Red Hat Virtualization. It will do the conversion of the image on the fly, and this is not a live migration. I need to add for sure. Yes. So, but it's possible, and this is not an only one version. I mean option. You can also migrate from, for example, from OpenStack, and if you have your own solution, you can also connect it to RHV Manager and try to do it with RHV Manager. Okay. Yeah, I think we are almost done. I will leave like 5 minutes for question and asks. Maybe some of them will come up. Just an additional resources for you to check. Trial of Red Hat Virtualization. So you can download it, and for 30 days you will get a full subscription for virtualization platform from Red Hat, and the full support also. Yep. So this is a good starting point for testing, for getting to know with the environment. Okay, I just get 5 minutes. Okay, and also related technical documents on the access.redhat.com. It's available for you to see, to get to know more about it. So thanks for that, and if there are any questions, I will be glad to answer. Yep.
You mentioned that you can migrate VMware environment to Red.
VMs, I mean VMs, yeah.
Yes, but is it possible to just clone them for some testing purposes, something like that? Because I don't know what does it mean to migrate.
The migrate actually means that you will actually clone it to RHV, and RHV there is a possibility to leave this VM on VMware as it is, or delete it after migration. But you can default is to clone it. Yes, the migration is to clone, to change the VM image to QCO2, for example, and run it in VMware. Yep, basically this is it. Yep.
Can you briefly say something about subscriptions? Are there the same subscription for every physical host?
Yep. Yeah. So we have yeah.
Some different levels of subscription.
No, the only difference. I mean, yes and no. The only difference in terms of support, you have two different flavors of subscription. One is for business hours only support, and the other is 24/7. And you also have different flavor. I mean, normally you have to buy subscription for every single host, up to 2 sockets. So if you have 2 socket machine, 1 subscription. If you have 4 socket machine, 2 subscriptions each. And you have different possibilities, because if your workloads rely on RHEL, you can choose subscription with RHEL, for example, RHEL with Smart Virtualization, which gives you full Red Hat Virtualization, and unlimited guests on the host. So you can deploy 1,000 VMs, Red Hat VMs on it with this only 1 subscription. This is the briefly. Yeah, there are more options. Like for example, when you want to put only a virtual workload, so you don't need, for example, RHEV. You already have your VMware environment, and you want to put unlimited RHELs on it, so you have also subscription for unlimited. It's called virtual data center. So you have only subscriptions for RHEL guests on third-party virtual platform. Yeah. You can also purchase only RHEV, like without any VMs related subscriptions, and but it depends on the usage. Yes, if you have, I think the count is if you have more than 6 VMs on the host, it's better to I mean more cost effective to run to purchase Red Hat RHEL with Smart Virtualization rather than separate subscriptions. Yep. Mm-hmm.
virtualization cluster, traditional.
Yep.
Would you somehow, how would you suggest to migrate it to RHV? Or is it possible not to migrate it and just manage it?
But it's a peacemaker based cluster. Okay, so you know, this is the long story. You can set up of course peacemaker cluster between VMs on RHV. There is no. Mm-hmm.
Virtualization cluster is actually a peacemaker based cluster, and every virtual instance is cluster service.
Okay. So you have just to get to know better. You have KVM based hosts with VMs on it, and this KVM hypervisor is RHEL. Okay, so actually you can take this KVM host into RHV Manager and manage it with RHV. Is it if it is possible for you as a single host? Yes, but if you want to, yeah, we have to discuss it more deeply, because there are many questions between, and there is no just a simple answer for that. But we can do it offline. Any more questions? No. So, thank you. Okay.
Snapshot.
Yep.
In some virtual machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible to change it.
Yeah. There is a full support for snapshotting. I think we can do it on our hands-on lab also. During our hands-on lab, we did storage live migration between Gluster storage and NFS to show guys how it works. But there is a full snapshot capability in RHEV also. Yep. So no, I didn't mention it. Yes, in my table, because I just focus on different topics. But what I said, that there is also a possibility to do it with no fear. Yep. Any more questions? Yep.
Maybe silly question, but is there an option to use Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization Manager with, let's say, third-party KVMs as well? For example, you'll have Debian or Ubuntu KVM. It's still KVM.
Yeah.
Is there a API or something like that to, let's say, bootstrap it or connect it?
I think in this case, this will be better to try to go to community project. I'm not aware of using. Maybe some of you have any idea about it and can support me, but I'm not aware about any use case or any customer who use manager with third-party KVM.
Yeah.
I don't think this will be supported things. Yeah.
What I'm after is interim or temporary solution before the migration. So let's assume that you'll have an environment built on Ubuntu or Debian, doesn't really matter
Okay.
right now.
Yep.
And you'd like to migrate it all to Red Hat Enterprise Virtual Manager. So therefore, you'll have to somewhat convert them or move them simply between KVMs.
Yeah. To be ready to set up VDSM agent on it. Yes, because it's a prereq to be for the KVM based hypervisor to be managed by RHV Manager. But in terms of supportability, I don't think this will be support. Yes, you can try it if you want.
Best option would be to basically snapshot running VMs and offline move them to.
Yeah. You can also upload VM images to RHEV without any problems. Yes.
That's the same for
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you have QCO VMs, images or raw images, you can just upload it into Rev easily with the export domain. No problems in this. Okay. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of the day. And I want to invite you, if you are not registered or you are already registered, to our Red Hat Virtualization hands-on lab, which will be in like 40 minutes at the next door. Thank you very much. Bye. Thanks.